Hello and welcome to Government with Dr. Turner. Today we're going to recognize examples of other groups that face discrimination, including LGBTQ Americans, Americans of different age groups, and Americans with disabilities. Before 1998, sexual orientation was not seen as a protected class, but today is considered a personal quality that is protected from discrimination. In Lawrence v. Texas 2003, the Supreme Court ruled that state sodomy laws were a violation of the right to privacy. The best definition of sodomy in this context is non-procreative sexual activity, which means it does not lead to reproduction. And yes, they used to make laws about that. After the court's ruling in Lawrence v. Texas, any attempt to prohibit homosexual activity between consenting adults is unconstitutional. In 2015, the court ruled that same-sex marriage is protected by the Constitution. However, the LGBTQ community still faces discrimination in several areas, including the workplace, foster care, adoption, and transgender issues. Remember our coverage of the separation of church and state? What we just talked about brings that into focus. Our religion may tell us that something is not allowed or is not the best choice. But does that mean our society's laws should require all to live in obedience to that teaching? Some of you may say yes, you would prefer to live in that society. But our Constitution says that religious teachings should remain private and not be written into law. Age is not considered to be a suspect or even quasi-suspect classification. Young people are often not granted a full array of rights. Older people sometimes face discrimination at work, although such practices were declared illegal in 1967. Concerning age discrimination, older people are better organized to protect their rights than younger people. Disabled Americans are politically organized. In 1990, the Americans with Disabilities Act was signed into law. Much like the Civil Rights Act of 1964, the ADA was groundbreaking legislation that promised equality in employment, education, communication, transportation, and public access for disabled Americans. The Americans with Disabilities Act was controversial because it mandated expensive renovations to many public accommodations. Also, like the Civil Rights Act, many advocates for the disabled say that after 30 years, there is still much more yet to be accomplished. Let's review. Civil rights is not just for issues of race and ethnicity. Other immutable characteristics can also lead to discrimination, including sexual orientation, age, and physical disability. Although none of these are considered a suspect classification, over the last 50 years, various Supreme Court decisions have expanded the rights of these groups.